welcome to Theatre News. Today's date is the 4th of September. I am Barry Robertson, and today is our very last episode of Theatre News. The last 14 days have been amazing in terms of finding out news, what's happening in theatre, coronavirus updates, what's opening, what's not opening, but importantly, I thought it was really great to have somewhere where we can have news, especially for something such as theatre, in one short podcast. So today, I would just want to sum up what the experience has been like in terms of where I think we are in the industry, what I think might happen, and also to say a big thank you for following me on this journey. Let me know your comments, and please do, after this one, please continue your comments, because we're always looking to do stuff like this and continue it forward at the Grey Hill. And I'll tell you more about that as well. So let's start off. Number one, well, coronavirus. Hasn't that been the elephant in the room this year? And I think what we're seeing is the industry starting to recover. You know, I still think it's amazing how many people can travel in an aeroplane for 4 hours and be in such close proximity to each other. Yet in a theatre space, we're still only limiting few to get there. Now, I can understand, right? If somebody's live performing and singing and, you know, they're in front of you, I get that. I also get that we can have clear masks and mouth guards to protect ourselves. So as we're seeing the industry change completely, there's also a backlog of content still needing to be made to get people in the door. It's still not sustainable as a business model, and will be one of the last businesses to open after COVID. Because frankly, it just isn't sustainable. It isn't sustainable for the wages that they pay out, nor the income that they can bring in. So theatre and the industry needs to change. I think what's really interesting to me, seeing some scenes from London, like the Sleepless musical, and how some new producers can create content, even in the midst of a coronavirus, they're still putting content out there, which is really amazing. It's also nice seeing regional theatres adapt and maybe trying new things in outdoor performances. But I really think that the way that we create theatre will have to change, and we'll see that in the business practices of established theatre companies. Whether it's an RFO, NPO, a receiving house, or whether it's just a producer, I think the way that we have been creating theatre and getting public subsidies for it might change. I don't think there's going to be an issue in creating work now. I think there's going to be an issue at the next NPOs or RFO funding rounds, because we've probably paid out quite a lot at the moment to keep these businesses afloat. I wonder how much money's left to continue that forward. So it's really important to do small things like play the national lottery, donate to your local theatre, or support in kind if that's what you want. I suppose we as audience members have probably changed as well, right? I've been saying to quite a lot of people, how many of you have got a new subscription, whether it's Netflix or Amazon or a Kindle Unlimited subscription or an Audible book subscription, and how we interact with consumer entertainment now that we've all been in lockdown. For example, I'm no longer travelling as much, so I'm no longer listening to as many audiobooks as I once, but now I'm listening to lots of different things, from short podcasts or even a lot more comic books that I'm reading. So it's interesting how our mediums have changed and what we're taking as entertainment. I think lastly, just to sum things up, I think it's about content and how we create that content and what does that content looks like. We've already seen that in the cinema distribution model. Disney's probably a really good example of Mulan, and how that's now skipped cinema and went straight to Disney Plus. And I think the theatre model will change as well, to be honest. I think it has to. But I'm really excited about the creativity of this moment and how we in the industry can create new content, create new storytelling, and importantly, it's about connecting with audiences. If we just concentrate on universal stories and connecting with people across the world, maybe not necessarily coronavirus stories or stories that have ripples of it that bring us all together that we can relate to and do what theatre does best, then I see no harm in theatre coming back stronger than before. So, where does this leave me in theatre news? Well, I'm looking for your comments and tell me what you've loved about the 14-day podcast, what you didn't like about the podcast, because that's really important to me to understand whether or not to keep it going forward. In terms of me, the Grey Hill, so that's thegreyhill.com, will be up and running soon. It's open at the moment and it receives new members. Memberships are free, and there's plenty of content coming. So there's 7 theatre productions. We record the last one this Sunday. It'll be international, so no matter where you are in the world, you'll be able to have access to it. And I'm really excited to launch something that's innovative and different, and I'm really excited for that, and I hope that you join me as well. So, as I finish off today's episode of Theatre News, thank you so much for taking part. Please do like, share, leave your comments, as they mean the world to me. And look out for more podcast episodes coming soon, wherever you get this podcast from. Bye for now.